Hi, Amanda. We're going to take a look at your second video here. I'm just going to turn off the um, Chrome here so that we don't have a beep or anything like that. Sorry about that. We're going to start the screen and just check it out. Here we are. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It's only a minute 42, but we'll definitely be talking about it a little bit longer than that. So I'm wondering about something here. As I was looking at this first screen, just starting, I'm noticing some stuff here. I don't know if you've noticed it, and I don't know. It might be just that your camera needs cleaning, or maybe it's the lens. We've got some stuff here. I don't know if you see here and here and here and here. There's some stuff there. And so let's keep an eye on that and see if perhaps there's some some maintenance that we might need to do on your camera or your lenses, because we don't want that to get worse, if it is in fact there, or if it's just a minor thing that just happened to be there that one time. Your video usually has so much texture that we don't often see that, but with the blue sky solid there, that we definitely were seeing it. We talked about this really kind of interesting sort of play on words there, starting off with Earth and then doing it on the glass. I think that's very clever. So I've been thinking about these pieces, the overall genre of what you're doing. The overall kind of like, okay, so what is she making here? What is it that, where can this go? Where can she sort of put this? Who's the audience? What does it work out? And you may be giving this a lot of thought. You're, we're not ready to kind of really articulate it yet, and that kind of stuff. Um, and I want to clearly, I'm interested in helping what you're doing, and maybe, sort of advising you in terms of where this kind of stuff can go. Clearly, I think you've got a lot of potential here. I'm really interested in your work and where it can go and your ability to do things. I'd like to see you do some narrative stuff. I want to see if you can do that, in terms of putting a story together with a character who wants something and that kind of thing, just to challenge you in that direction, so that you're doing something completely different than what you're doing here, just for the challenge, while still doing this stuff. Because I think it's always a healthy thing to be able to put together the kind of collage things that you're doing here, which is totally your strength. You're really, really good at this kind of stuff, and also do something that maybe you're also good at doing, a narrative, and we're just not seeing it. Or you may find out that you're really good at it, or maybe you just lack the resources or the interest of doing a narrative at all. Anyway, I think it would be interesting to see how you approach it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to kind of think about and talk to you about has to do with your area of, like, what is it that you're really interested in doing? Because there's so many different avenues of filmmaking and cinema and all of this kind of stuff. And oftentimes when we are in the academic world, or we're in the learning phase, and we're in this kind of mode, we're doing all of it. We're directing, we're editing, we're filming it, we're sometimes in front of the camera. We're doing all of this stuff, writing if we're having dialogue and that kind of thing. And, a lot of times we're not doing all of those things at the same time. And clearly you have a lot of strength with editing. A lot of strength with editing. Your camera work is also excellent. You have really good camera work skills. Your video footage that you're collecting seems to be a lot of real footage. In other words, that it is stuff that is happening in front of you and you're collecting it. Now, I know that you have done directing stuff. I remember the pieces that you created with, for instance, with your brother and your sister, where he was like, walking down the street and he was sort of dazed and confused, and you were doing that kind of thing, which was really kind of a narrative thing. I mean, you've done that. And it was good. I mean, I think you worked that out. It was a little more self-conscious than this kind of stuff. In other words, you could tell that it was something that you were working on a little bit more. This seems effortless to you. The other seemed like you were working on it a little bit more, like it was something that was more that you had to kind of think about. The piece that you created for the Kick-Ass Film Festival over the summer, that was in a way a good combination of this and that, where you had a bit of a narrative where the character uh, went to the cemetery and so on. And I think that worked really well. What was different about that was that you had other people working on it, even though you were like mostly doing it. I know, because that's what everybody was saying. Oh, this is all Amanda. You were mostly doing it, but there was a collaborative there. You weren't in front of the camera and you had to build it and all of that kind of stuff. But that piece had a different feel to it as well. I guess what I'm trying to say is, what is it that, where are you? Are you someone who's going to continue to make pieces all yourself? You're going to do everything. Or do you see yourself as a director of photography, an editor, just a director who's not behind the camera? Could you see yourself doing a piece where you didn't film it? Or maybe that you are only editing the piece, where you don't film it or direct it, you're receiving film to edit. Have you even done that before? Has someone offered you, okay, here's the piece. I'm going to bring you in and you're going to know the piece and everything, but I just want you to edit my footage and that kind of stuff. Does that appeal to you at all? Given this stuff, talking about this kind of work, to me, this stuff feels a lot like mixing, like sound mixing. This almost feels, not almost, this definitely feels like something like a visual equivalent to what a DJ does. Original stuff, not just like playing track after track, but mixing audio. And this definitely has a place to live in that world, which is, there's precedent for that, of course, where a DJ might be playing, or some sort of audio mixer, somebody's playing, basically creating original music out of other original music. But this is happening at the same time. And there are artists who do this kind of stuff live. They do it in real time. They have multiple things and they're creating audio layering and audio mixes, video at the same time. So somebody's creating audio, say your brother is there, right? Nigel's hanging out, he's doing his audio stuff. And then there's screens, right? There's screens that are happening and you're over there on Premiere with a couple of screens with audio tracks, or video tracks, and you're mixing video that's projecting behind him in kind of collaboration with him. That could be amazing and interesting. There's so many different things that you could do, you see. I just want to, like, I don't know, sort of open all of these doors up open to you, because I think you could explore all of them and find where it fits for you. And now's the time to explore all of them, because they're all available to you. There's no closed doors for you. Not that doors close for you anyway, but right now it's just like, well, whatever, do the stuff that seems to work for you all the time. Also, there's this idea of the streaming content kind of thing. This all seems, this could be, like I had mentioned, these interludes between some sort of streaming content episode and those kinds of things. I don't know if you've ever considered, the idea of doing some sort of channel where you're highlighting this culture. and you're telling stories about that, or at least working with somebody who's highlighting this culture. I know you work with documentary stuff with Dustin and stuff, but maybe that's something that you could get into and start working toward. You don't have to be working for other people. You could be doing these projects and pitching them and getting funding for yourself, particularly with the resources that you have available to you with access to this community. You've got your family who have resources as well. There's your sister who knows how to do this two-dimensional animation, which could be in combination to this. Your brother with soundtracks. I mean, you've got a lot of things going for you here. And so anyway, um, I think what you're doing here is, again, another wonderful sketch that you're working on. This is all very playful, what you're doing here. In the end, I think you're just continuing forward with experimentation. I would just like to see where else you want to explore. So let's talk. I know I keep mentioning we should definitely sit down and continue to figure out what you're all about, and talk about films and all of that kind of stuff. So let's get to that. So, all right. Hopefully we will be able to carve out some time, and I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.